I used to think my phone was an extension of my heart. Every hey, how are you? Or thinking of you was a little piece of me sent out into the digital void, hoping for a reply that would make my day. For months, I was the one who always started the conversation. I'd stare at my screen, my thumb hovering over the send button, my stomach in knots. I'd be the one to suggest plans, to ask about his day, to send a funny meme just to see those three little dots appear. Each notification I sent was a question. Do you see me? Do you care? And his replies, when they came, were always polite, friendly, but never more. They were like echoes in an empty room present, but hollow. I told myself he was just busy, that he was shy, that maybe he just wasn't a big texter. I made 1,000 excuses because the truth was too painful to admit. I was putting in all the effort. I was the one keeping this one-sided connection alive. One night, after sending a message that went unanswered for hours, something inside me just shifted. I was staring at my reflection in the dark screen, and I didn't recognize the anxious, waiting girl looking back at me. Was my worth really tied to a notification? Was my happiness dependent on someone who couldn't even send a simple text back? That was the day I stopped. It wasn't a big dramatic announcement. I didn't block his number or delete our chat history. I just put my phone down. I decided to stop sending my energy where it wasn't being returned. It was terrifying at first. The silence was deafening. The urge to check my phone to see if he'd finally noticed my absence was almost overwhelming. But instead of reaching for my phone, I reached for other things. I picked up a book I'd been meaning to read. I called a friend I hadn't spoken to in ages, and we laughed until our sides hurt. I went for long walks, listening to music that made me feel powerful, not lovesick. I started painting again, losing myself in colors and strokes instead of waiting for a reply. Slowly, I started filling the silence not with his absence, but with my own presence. I was rediscovering the person I was when I wasn't waiting for someone else to validate me. And you know what's funny? The world didn't end. In fact, my world began to expand. I felt lighter, freer. I was no longer a supporting character in his story. I was the main character in my own. I started to love the company I kept, which was, for the first time in a long time, just me. Then, about 2 weeks later, my phone buzzed. It was him. Hey, haven't heard from you in a while. Everything okay? My heart did a familiar little flutter, but this time it was different. It wasn't a desperate leap. It was a calm, steady beat. The old me would have dropped everything to reply instantly, thrilled that he had finally noticed. But the new me just looked at the message, smiled a little, and put my phone back down. I was in the middle of a chapter, and I wanted to see how it ended. A few hours later, another message came, thinking of you, and then a call. He had started to chase. The dynamic had completely flipped. But the twist wasn't that I finally got the attention I had craved for so long. The real twist was that by the time he started chasing me, I was no longer standing still, waiting to be caught. I had already started my own race. I was chasing my own dreams, my own happiness, my own peace. I learned that the most powerful thing you can do is to stop begging for a seat at a table where you were not valued. Build your own table. The love you're looking for from others, it's already inside you, waiting for you to give it to yourself first. Chasing someone else is exhausting, but chasing your best self, that's the most rewarding journey you'll ever take. So put the phone down and pick yourself up. You are so worth it. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.